Hey y'all. It's my first live, I think. I think this is the first time I went live. I really don't remember, but probably. Trying to see if this looks right. I don't know. You can let me know. Does this like let me see the chat? See, I'm all new to this. You guys gotta tell me how to work this. Okay, live chat. There we go. New managing moderators can support your channel and you choose moderators. Okay, here we go. Okay. We're just gonna wait a few minutes, see if anybody rolls in. If not, we're just gonna get going. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can find it on this other iPad to see if like this is working. Um. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Okay, that's weird. It's an awful angle, huh? Okay, hi y'all. Welcome back to Thembo Cinema, where we love all things movies and TV. I am your host, Dylan, and we are here on Halloween Eve 2025. And it's kind of a bummer for me. This is an update of my Halloween season. What's going on with the channel? There's not a lot coming out at the moment, even though it's like prime time, right? Um, so I just have to confess that I will no longer be able to go on with this channel. It's very personal. It's hard to talk about, but you guys are my friends, right? And we can share with each other our lives, right? Okay, so I went to the doctor recently, and I've been diagnosed with elephantitis of the nuts. You know. Oh, it's so hard to talk about, but you know, you gotta like tell your truth so you're not burdened by it, you know? And it's a very serious condition, and the reason I won't be able to do the channel anymore is because, you know, with elephantitis of the nuts, you know, they're inflamed. So if I'm trying to edit my videos, they're gonna get in the way. So yeah, that's what happened for sure. No lies here. No lies spoken. Okay, maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm lying. I actually like that story better than the truth of why there's no videos out for the rest of this month. Um, so I am one to be known to break my phone. Where is my phone? Yeah, and I've done it many times. I just got it fixed like a month and a half ago, 2 months, and the other night it happened. Mm-mm-mm. So it was. I actually already had the black dots. That's normal for me for my phone to look like a Dalmatian. But this time I was actually out at a drag show the other night, and I was at this amazing performance of they were doing a version of The Substance, and I was living so much that I stood up, and my phone was on my lap, and it went onto the floor into the crowd, and I had to go under people to get my phone, and now it's fucked. And it's very hard to edit videos when my phone's like this. Like I really can't. And the iPad, I don't edit on the iPad. Especially I would have to buy extra subscriptions to InShot, Facetune, all of that stuff that I use to edit videos, and that just I'm not doing that. I'll wait till November, and we're gonna have a belated Halloween. Unfortunate. So Halloween's kind of over for me, except just watching movies and TV at home, which is always good. What have y'all been watching this Halloween season? I've been watching. Past couple days, I've been restarting my Stranger Things rewatch. You know, we take Stranger Things for granted. Everybody's saying that it should already be over, and you know, it gets a lot of criticism nowadays. But I still remember how much we all loved it. You know, way back in summer 2016, before the dark times. Yeah, it really has been a while, and I also agree that they take way too long between seasons, and it's a little it like fucks up the momentum of people caring about it and it staying in the pop culture. But I am still so excited for season 5, And rewatching season one, you just remember how good it was. You know, you take it for granted that it's just it's been there, done that. But it is such good writing and good character work, and season one is just gorgeous. Even though I don't know, season two might be my favorite. It might be my favorite. Anyways, what I was working on for the rest of this month was a Freddy's Nightmares reaction. I was getting back into my Freddy's Nightmares series. I don't know if y'all have watched, but last year I did all of the episodes that Freddy Krueger was like part of the plot. Like he was like an active story plot of the episode, not just hosting. And that was fun. And I think I'm just a lot better at editing now. And I'm going back and I'm watching the other ones, and they're fun. Some of them are okay. Honestly, some of them are shitty, but that's kind of part of the fun. And I just want to do that over time. Just kind of dull those out between movie reactions and all of the other fun stuff. Oh, hey Trenchy, what's up? Happy Halloween, Trench. How you doing? Yeah, so the next episode we'll be reacting to, or I'll be reacting to, is episode 2 of season 1, which stars Lar Park Lincoln, R.I.P. Lar. Oh, fucking shit stuck in my eye. I'm sorry. It stars Lar Park Lincoln from Friday the 13th: A New Blood. It was just cool to see her like in a Freddy scenario. And it was directed by Tom McLaughlin, the director of Jason Lives. So there was a bunch of nice crossover there. I'm doing great, Trenchy. I was just telling people how I broke my phone, which is why I have no new videos out for the rest of the month until I can get it fixed next month. Um, but I thought I'd pop on here on live to say hi to the people. Hi to the people. And, I don't go on live that much. It's one of my first lives, and I'm going to keep it up. And, I'm a little boring by myself. We got no plans to talk about much, but I thought I'd say hey and give a happy Halloween. Should I say what I'm going to be? I'm kind of pissed because I had one more thing to order online for it, and so I'm going to be taking pictures of it like on November 3rd, probably, which is totally cheating, and the Halloween gods are going to like strike me down. But I will tell you guys that I'm being Cruella de Vil, and I'm going for like very like animation accurate Cruella de Vil. I'm not doing Emma Stone. I'm not doing Glenn Close. Love them, but we're going for like the animation. I got that bony face. You know what I'm saying? Are you being anything for Halloween this year, Trenchy? Or what have you been watching this year as far as spooky vibes? Getting you in the Halloween mood. Other things that I've been watching. Let's see. There's I don't know. Have you guys been watching It? Welcome to Derry. Yes, the first episode is out this week, and whew, ooh, okay. Like they kept up the tradition of fucking you up when you're watching the show because I don't know. I'm a big fan of It 1990. Grew up on Tim Curry's It. It was one of the few horror movies that I was actually scared to watch for a long time. I'd watch like the beginning and not watch the rest until I was like maybe preteen. But and I love Andy Muschietti's It Chapter 1 and 2. Maybe Chapter 1 a little bit more. But and I was very excited to see that they were coming back with a TV show on HBO Max. And it's really smart to do that secular thing of Pennywise coming back every 27 years, and we can just keep on kind of going back every season until we get to like the early 1900s or 1800s. Who knows? I think it's cool, and I like that they're really not showing. They didn't show Pennywise yet in the first episode, which some people were probably pissed. I think it's super smart because we got long way to go. And Pennywise is always the representation of people's fears. Don't have any costumes planned, but maybe I'll throw something together. Right? Some people seem like Halloween feels like kind of a chore this year, and I can kind of hear that, especially when there's just so much shit going on in the world and expenses and money issues with people, and I feel that it's like or some people, you're just kind of not in the mood. We got other shit going on, and that's cool. I mean, we're horror people here. You know, we keep Halloween alive all year. So like, you know, we give our contribution to the culture, and it's all good. Yeah, Welcome to Derry though, so amazing. I love the 1960s setting because it kind of feels like the 1990 miniseries when the first half was set in the 60s or the 50s. 50s. Anyways, same vibe, you know. I live in New England, and it's just like sometimes when I live here, and I live in a certain part that isn't very like Stephen King-y. It's more like I live in a small city, even though I don't know, lots of concrete. So I do escape to the wilderness sometimes, but like just living in New England, I forget how when other people come here, they find it creepy because of the vibes, and that vibe is like the Stephen King vibe, no? Anyways, I'm thinking that this show is just gonna get better and better as it goes along. And I don't want to spoil it, but they killed off certain characters in the first episode that I thought that were gonna be around for the whole season. So that was pretty damn shocking. And it's hard to shock me sometimes with horror. You know, we've seen it all. Once you watch a lot of horror movies, it's hard to see something that's totally new or that you just did not expect. So that's always a good thing. Let's see. What else have I been watching recently as far as horror goes? The other night I watched Good Boy, which is have you guys seen the trailer for that? Good Boy. It's that dog movie from Shudder. It's like a horror movie, haunted house film, but from the perspective of a puppy, a dog. Well, not a puppy, a pupper. I think the dog's full grown. um, it was just really gorgeous. I love animals. I love dogs. It's kind of weird when people don't, unless maybe they've been attacked by one. I don't know, but this dog is so sweet. Like an actor, like this dog deserves some award nominations along the lines of the dog from Prey. You know what I'm saying? The camera work was really cool. You had the camera like kind of right next to the dog and the dog's point of view, and I found that really cool. Like in the way that I love the way that Flow, the cinematography in Flow was really cool in from the POV of the animals. Weirdly felt that here. How is your phone problem going? This is how it's going. It's looking like a Dalmatian, and whenever I click on it, it does weird shit. So hopefully, first part of November, they'll be good to go. Thank you for caring. Thank you for caring. um, yeah, Good Boy was so good though. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever. I could see it maybe like just kind of just being a Shutter release, but I do appreciate that a lot of Shutter movies are making it to the big screen and giving people more of a chance to see it or be aware of them. Because I feel like movies come out in Shutter that I'm not even fully aware of and how good they are. I have to wait for other people to tell me. I've seen Good Boy, but it's the foreign one from a couple years ago. Oh, okay. There's a lot of movies called Good Boy, actually. I would love to help out. Do you have PayPal? I don't. And thank you so much, Richard, but I wouldn't want anybody to waste their money on my stupid little phone. I think in by this time next week I will most likely have it fixed and we'll just go from there. But I appreciate that. That is so so sweet. Yeah, as far as another movie called Good Boy, do you guys remember that in like 2003 there was a talking dog movie called Good Boy, and I think they were from like at least one of them was an alien and his name was Hubble, like the Hubble telescope. The only reason I remember it because I saw it in theaters. Otherwise, I don't think I've rewatched it much. But I wonder if that holds up. Maybe a double feature one night, a Good Boy marathon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Other horror movies I've seen. I also watched on Tubi. They have R.L. Stein's Pumpkinhead, which very cool. Was a Goosebumps fan growing up. It's definitely made for kids. Like it's aimed for family, kids. You know that famous phrase I love, gateway horror, and it's a really good representation of that. I also realized that when I say horror, Horror. That's always been a hard word for me, weirdly, because I'm such a fan. But it kind of sounds like I'm saying horror. Just for the record, I'm not saying horror, even though that's a wonderful thing to be. I'm saying horror. I remember in English class, I was trying to say it one time in seventh grade or eighth grade, and the English teacher was like, "What are you saying?" And I'm like, "Hara, Hara." I live in a sub like 15 minutes from Boston. What can I tell you? It comes out Waka, Hara, Twanic. Since you like Arlstein, have you seen The Haunting Hour? No, but I think I remember it. Is that the 90s? Was that a 90s show or is that new? I don't know if I've seen The Haunting Hour. I think I remember that being a separate show in the 90s or 2000s, maybe. You have to let me know in the chat. But yeah, Arlstein, like, I kind of enjoyed the Goosebumps movies that came out with Jack Black. Mainly the first one, but, like, at the same time, I kind of remember the first time I watched it, I didn't love it, and then it kind of grew on me, because I realized that I was just being harsh on it. That movie's 10 years old. 2015, okay. Let's not talk about time. It's not even real. Um, Other things I've watched recently, or I'm trying to watch. I don't know if y'all have heard of this, that Regal Cinemas. Oh, 2000s, yes. Let me see that real quick. Like 2000, 2010s. Okay. It's underrated, a bit darker version of Goosebumps. That's cool. I should check that out. Maybe put on the pilot one day or something. Or if there's an episode that you recommend. Yes. So other things that I'm kind of looking forward to or wanting to see, I don't know if you guys heard that, if you guys have a Regal Cinemas near you, Regal Cinemas is now doing a Halloween horror marathon all month where every night they have like an old horror movie, a previous released horror movie playing. And on Halloween night, I'm trying to go see, they have Halloween 3 Season of the Witch playing, which would be really cool to see in a theater, I feel like. Plus, I've only seen that movie once, which is wild. I used to avoid it because of, the no Michael factor. But then I heard how fucking loved it is, and there's so many cool scenes that I've seen, like, out of context. So it was really fun watching it, but that was, like, 2021, and I don't remember a lot of it, so... It is. That whole movie has great music. The synth, and did Carpenter do the music for 3? He might have. Maybe the theme. But yeah, that looks so fucking fun. Must be the season of the witch. Okay. I want to, like, check my letterbox real quick, but is this gonna, like, disturb the chat? I'm trying to remember what else I've been watching. I can talk about future reactions as well. Why don't I do that? If you're watching this, y'all know. So, this is a horror. This is a horror channel, but it's also a horror channel. This is a horror channel, but it's also a channel for other pop culture. It's basically a queer horror channel, so it's whatever is in this queer brain and whatever I'm a fan of. So I am taking a little break from horror the rest of the year. There might be, like, maybe Freddy's Nightmares will still be a thing, and maybe a Christmas horror movie, possibly. But I believe that the next reactions, well, one reaction I already have filmed, and it was actually filmed like a month and a half ago, and I just haven't done it yet because it was not in season, but I have a reaction coming up of the movie Sugar and Spice. I don't know if y'all have seen that. Hey, what up? Trash Picture Show, Marty. Yeah, so Sugar and Spice came out in 2001. It's that movie where the cheerleaders are like Robin stuff, and they have like the Barbie mask on them, and they're shooting up places, and one of them's pregnant. It's like a movie I remember being on when I was younger on pay-per-view or like on like Movie Stars channel, stuff like that. And I wanted to like rewatch it, and it was interesting. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like beloved, but it'll be a fun reaction once it comes out, I feel like. Other reactions I plan on doing with Cheryl are we're doing a reaction to Showgirls. And has nothing to do with Taylor Swift, Life of a Showgirl, which kind of a fan, but I'm not bringing her to this channel because I love you guys. This is the classic Showgirls movie from 1995, starring Elizabeth Berkley. I watched it once in like 2012, and I remember it having the most wild line readings that you could really compare to like line readings that you would hear from a 1980s horror movie that have like the funniest line readings. Yeah, sugar. Yeah, Trenchy. Sugar and Spice. It's worth a watch. It's just not. I can see why it's not beloved, like like Jawbreaker or like some of those other '90s, early 2000s dark comedies. But I'm glad that we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Oh, Richard, I love that you love the Cheryl experience. Not everybody does. Not everybody can take all of this and all of that. But for those who do and those who can, we appreciate it. Like queer people deal with that a lot too. Like you deal with like being too much for people, and sometimes people come to this channel, they see like a Friday the 13th reaction, and they're like, oh cool, and then they see how hella queer we are, and then they don't like it and feel the need to tell us, which is like fine, helps the algorithm keep on commenting on our videos. But I'm like, what do you expect from a channel called Thembo Cinema? Maybe people don't know what Thembo means, though. Okay, here's a question for the chat. Do y'all know what Thembo means? I want to know. I mean, I'll explain it if you don't. Like, I won't judge. But I'm just curious if, like, the Thembo name was kind of, like, really random to people. Like, they don't know what it is. But sound off because I'm curious and I'm actually kind of scared about the answers. But oh gosh, what have y'all been watching on television other than maybe it? Welcome to Derry. I've been really into reality television. I also would love to bring some more of that to the channel, which I know is kind of a different vibe than from what we usually put out, and it's kind of a risk because I don't want to I don't want people that have come to the channel for horror to be like, well, what the fuck's going on? You're not giving us what we want. And I want to feed everybody. I want a little bit of horror, a little bit of pop culture, a little bit of gay. It's all good. No, I have an idea what it means, but I don't know. Yeah. So a thembo is just a bimbo, but they're non-binary, or they go by they. You know what I'm saying? A himbo, a bimbo, or a thembo. And me and Cheryl are very much thembos. For real. Which I guess it's kind of like you're really pretty and a little bit dumb, but not really. It's just kind of like the vibe. I'm proud of it, babe. Another movie that I'm really, really wanting to see, and the only reason, um, oh, thank you, thank you. I mean, we can all be a little dumb sometimes, and it's a beautiful thing. You learn something new every fucking day. It's beautiful. I don't know why I just went British with that. Excuse me. Another movie that I'm trying to see, and I wanted to see it before Halloween, but I DoorDash with my phone, which is the issue. I need to see Black Phone too. Did any of you guys see that? I bet some of you did. I just rewatched the original last week, and it was my favorite viewing of it. It was like the third time I've seen it, and I don't know. I think Joe Chill. That's from Batman. What the? That's who killed Batman's parents, isn't it? Joe Hill. Joe Hill, who did not kill the Waynes, has a lot of the same vibe as his dad, Stephen King, with the writing and the character building, especially. And I'm a little worried. Can you enable super chats? Can I? I don't know if I know how to do that. I don't think so. Like, do you have to set up your bank account or whatever? Oh, what is that? Sorry. Maybe I'll figure out how to do that one day the more I go live. But it's okay, Richard. You're being so nice. But I don't want you to worry about it. Like, it's so hard for me to accept stuff like that. But thank you, thank you. Um, what was I saying? I forgot. Probably not important. Oh, fucking Joe Hill and in Black Phone. Yeah, I just think I'm okay. I don't know if you guys ever get this vibe while watching the first movie. I love the character of the little sister so much, and I think she's so great. But I do realize every time that I watch that movie that when the brother comes out of the house across the street, I realize like she really didn't affect anything. Like he did everything by himself to get out. And I think maybe Finney also has some psychicness to him too. It would make sense. And like maybe we'll find out that more in Black Phone 2. Don't let me know though. But yeah, like other than I think maybe the fact that she was letting the police know things and it kind of put them along faster to put on they put reports out on the TV about information about the grabber, which I think they might have gotten from the sister. Yeah, they found the house but across the street, which I guess they maybe would have gone across the way, but like Finney was already out, so it was kind of like, oh. But I think maybe they did make it so there was a certain reports like with her information there was more reporting on TV about him, which was making him accelerate his timeline of whatever he was gonna do. So like I can give it that. But then I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, what is your problem? Yeah, so but I love that character. I'm a little concerned about the Freddy Krueger-ness of the second one, because it's like I want a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I don't want Black Phone 2 to be it, but I'm gonna appreciate it for what it is, though. Like, I'm not gonna be a little bitch about it. Like, if it gives me Nightmare on Elm Street and it does it well, I'll be happy. What am I saying? Okay, they wanted him to learn from the ghosts. Sorry. Um, they wanted him to learn from the ghosts, so they couldn't rely on the girl as much. For real, like, it just seemed a little bit weirdly orchestrated, where I feel like, but at the same time, maybe that's just what it was. Like, I feel like that's also okay. It's just like some of the things where it just feels like maybe they were trying to make it look like she saved him or something, but it just didn't. I don't know. I gotta rewatch the movie again probably over the years, and I'll probably talk myself out of that opinion of her. But I still love her. In that scene when hard scene to watch, but that scene where the father's going after her in the house or in the kitchen, and her acting is some of the most like weirdly realistic scenes of child abuse I thought that I've seen, and just her like it was really well done and hard to watch. But I thought that whole family was really well cast. Just saw another question here from Richard. Did you watch Wednesday season 2? I did. I did. Do the dead dance. I don't know the dead dance yet, except for that's about it. Which you can learn that from Saturday Night Fever as well. Yeah, what did you guys think of Wednesday season 2? That's another one where I went back and I watched season 1, and I was way more into it during the rewatch than the initial watch way back in 2022 when Biden was sailing the blue. What the fuck? So I got like really into it, and I really, really fell in love with Jenna Ortega's Wednesday. She might be my favorite Wednesday, and I know that sounds so like wrong because Christina Ricci is Christina Ricci, honey. Like she's our girl. But like Jenna has so many more hours as the character and has so much more of a chance to delve in. And I really enjoyed her in the role and her being kind of a horror, not horror darling. Season 2 I thought was great. It very much played like a sequel, like they both kind of are just big movies really. And so they did the whole thing with a sequel where you had some of the plot points play out in sort of the same ways a little bit. Yes, Pugsley, that was one of my favorite additions for season two, was having him be more of a full-fledged character. And his whole storyline with the zombie, and sorry, I watched it month and a half ago, I'm forgetting the name, that ends up being the villain, spoilers. But his friend there, his friend, was very cool. And spoilers, I'm a huge Lady Gaga fan. Like, I'm one of those queer people that shits out Lady Gaga every day through my eyes, and I'm just like a huge, massive fan of the lady. Impacts my life every day. Unicorn puke. Having her a part of this show is just so surreal and wonderful. Even though she was only in it for a minute, she's not distracting or anything. And having Dead Dance a part of it was just so special, and I just love it. I love Gaga's love for horror, and that's always been very apparent since the Fame Monster, really. And it was just a beautiful, for me too, it was retribution for her because this time last year she was in Joker 2, Folie à Deux, and I think we all know how that went. But she was very, very good in Joker 2. And I truly believe if they let her direct her own character, or even if they just let her direct that whole movie, it would have been a way better film. And I feel bad that, like, they didn't live up to her, and that wasn't part of, like, her amazing fall last year. Because she released an EP with it, too. Like, they just failed her. See, I get very, I could be her lawyer. I can defend her all day. But like, yeah, having her be in Wednesday, and I could just go on and on about how brilliant it is to not only have the vibes of the 90s show, so we get all of those millennials clicking into it, but you get a lot of vibes of the 60s show as well, which gets all those other generations that watched the original airing and the reruns when they were kids. It's very, very smart. There's a rumor the trailer for Scream 7 is being released tomorrow. Ooh. Scream 7. Do we get into it? Do we get into it? Okay, Scream 7. I haven't talked much about it on like here. I've been a little vocal on Instagram. First and foremost, I'm not shitting on anybody who is gonna be enjoying Scream 7. I plan on enjoying it by pirating the shit out of it. And I would never say that. I would never say that about a franchise horror, like creators that I love. You know what I mean? I would never want to take money away from them. I'm a physical media aficionado. I constantly buy into the industry. Fuck giving money to this film. Fuck them. But again, your choice is your choice. This is my personal opinion, and the opinion of how some people can be about it. But if this is just your franchise, we all love this franchise so much. The world is so hard. You can be in your little corner and enjoy it. But I'm about to go in a little bit. I'm sure you all know the awful firing of Melissa Barrera, and then Jenna Ortega, being a good friend she is, leading with her. Because Melissa decided to speak out about the genocide. Yes, I don't know why this is controversial. The genocide in Gaza. And to see a studio twist her words and then fire her is so scary, honestly. And whatever, call me a snowflake, sensitive. Why is it bad to be sensitive? I don't know. That is so scary to have that big of a corporation literally twist your words, and like that's super dangerous to her as a person. You don't know what the fuck people are doing in this world. Where you literally misrepresent her words like that to make her seem anti-Semitic, and what anybody is doing when anybody speaks out about the genocide and trying to twist it as being anti-Semitic is so wrong. And I believe I've seen a lot of Jewish people also say that that is so wrong to do. And I don't, not that I would ever want to speak for them. I'm not a Jewish person, and I have such love and support for Jewish people. I just feel like that was such an abuse of power. And I think it's so, like, really dangerous to do to a citizen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand it. And I don't it's really fucked up when you see all of the videos we see every day from Gaza, and we're just, everybody's supposed to be silent on it, or you get fired from your job, or you're labeled. And like, I feel like for people being labeled an anti-Semite for some people is really upsetting, but you're not one. It's like, what logic out the window. This is a very sensitive topic. I know it is. I am not qualified to do a lot of talking about it, other than to say my piece that it is wrong what is happening in Gaza. It is wrong to punish people for simply pointing it out. Another thing about Scream 7. So, okay, let's get a little excited for the concept. I've heard the concept might be, we don't know, but if there's a trailer tomorrow, we'll probably confirm it. And it's Halloween time, so I bet you're right. I heard it's a Wes Craven's New Nightmare situation, which is so smart to do, that they're doing the whole people playing themselves, which is why we're seeing so many actors who played characters who are dead come back. And I think that's such a super smart idea, and I think it's a really cool way to round out that trilogy. Except, sorry, I could like scream about it. How extra disrespectful is it, to like, hey Doc, what's up, Doc Kaiju? You just happened to come in on a Scream 7 rant. You're so lucky. So I just think it's extra like offensive and a fuck you to Melissa and Jenna that everybody's gonna be playing themselves, and even people from their two films are coming back, but they're not gonna be asked back, and the real life situation that is happening with them isn't gonna be addressed, even though we're doing a real life meta thing, which totally takes me out of it. Because if we're really doing meta, I know, like, on that, within the story, that's part of the story, is that they fucked over those girls and were like, you don't exist anymore, even though they were the crux and core of those last two films. And then you got the people who just never liked Melissa anyways. You got the people that, yes, I heard it might be a meta sequel, possibly. I could be wrong, but it's really looking that way. It'd be very weird if it wasn't at this point with that cast sheet, But we'll see. We'll see. I just think that there were people who didn't like Melissa to begin with and never accepted Melissa as maybe a new final girl, and I don't think she was ever trying to replace Nev or Sydney ever. But, like, I thought she was brilliant. And a lot of people said her acting sucked in Scream 5, which I just don't see. And then it definitely got better in Scream 6. Like, Scream 6 is awesome. I love all the Scream movies. There is not a bad Scream movie, in my opinion. There's some questionable choices, maybe. But there's not a bad Scream movie. Which is why it really sucks that we live in a world where there's just so much shit going on, ugly, like real horror, like real shit that's like hard to even wrap your brain around the bigness of it all, And something that's supposed to be our escapism is gonna have that darkness in it. It's like even more horrifying than anything Ghostface could do. I know that sounds fucking corny, but it's true. I'm a corny person, what can I say? Corny, not horny. Well, anyways. So, I will be watching that film once I can watch it illegally online. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that on the live. Ooh! Okay, Spyglass Paramount, you're not motherfuckers. You're not Zionist piece of shit. I swear, I will go watch Scream 7 6 times in the theater. Horror, not horror. But yeah, like, I'm just not going to be posting about it. I just don't want to promote it. But I can't lie and say I'm not going to eventually see it. That'd be almost impossible. But it just kind of sucks, you know. It kind of sucks that like Neve Campbell, who got pretty screwed over in Scream 6 with the whole lack of pay, doesn't want to stand up for these girls, it seems. And they kind of judge her for it, not gonna lie. But that's the thing though, don't rely on celebrities to pull through. And I do believe that the celebrities who do exhibit like an actual human being and actually care about like other people who are in their position or are working, like those are my people. And I feel like you shouldn't pull up the ladder once you're up there. And that's what that whole shit feels like amongst the gross politics of the world. So let's move on from Scream 7, but I am excited for what I will eventually see, and I probably will be excited watching the trailer as well, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, what else is coming out this year? Okay, we're gonna wrap up in a little bit because I didn't realize I was already 40 minutes in. But hey, there's a few of you here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This is so fun to chat with you guys. I honestly thought that nobody would be showing up, so this is kind of cool. I'm excited for the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake, starring what's his face from Halloween Ends, who is very cute, but I forget who he's also in The Monkey. Forgot that actor's name, but this remake looks so cool. Like it's so cool that they're doing one. I think it was Christmas 2020 that I like watched the first two Silent Night Deadly Nights with my friend, and we were shit faced, and it was so fucking funny. Like one of my favorite things in any movie, but especially 80s horror movies, is when someone says a line so fucking weird and like you just can never say it like that way again. And that movie has a lot. That and the second one have a lot of almost every other line feels like that. Trenchy says, I try not to get connected to any celebrities. I enjoy their work. Oh, sorry, let me pull it up. I try not to get connected to any celebrities. I enjoy their work, but in the end of the day, we don't know these people, but they're easier said than done and struggle. Oh my god, they keep on making the thing go away. We don't know these people, but that's easier said than done, and I struggle with it a bit at times. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been celebrity obsessed since I was a kid. Just pop culture obsessed, really, and I've really learned my lesson over, especially since COVID, about how to tame some of the fandom, and don't defend people that you really like. They would not defend you necessarily, or just as an example, huge Oprah freak here, like obsessed with Oprah. I used to defend Oprah to the death, and I still love her. Right now, during this time in the world, I feel like she's flaunting her wealth a lot, and it pisses me the fuck off. And that was a lesson that even Oprah, can be a dumb bitch sometimes. Oh my god. I can't say this shit on live. This is what's wrong with live. I'm so used to the edit button. I just take out that shit I shouldn't say. But let's go on. Have you ever seen The Little Girl Who Lived Down the Lane? Is that the one with Jodie Foster? Because if that's the one with Jodie Foster, maybe I should try again. But I was with my yaya, my grandmother, and she also likes, okay, it is that one, okay. She likes horror movies and weird movies too, right? And I put it on with her, and the first 5 minutes are like Jodie Foster. I don't know. There was some pedophilia going on or something, and it was too much in the moment. We were like, maybe not today. But are y'all saying it's good? Like I can maybe get past it. Like if it's not the whole movie, it's just I didn't really want to see that day. You know what I'm saying? I know like a lot of these horror movies though have like really inappropriate and like fucked up things in them, and I'm not, I would revisit if it's actually okay. It's loved. You're saying it's a great film. Maybe I'll go back. Okay, maybe I'll go back. I think it's still on Tubi or Pluto. I just won't watch it with my grandmother. How about that? That's probably a good idea. Even though, like, we watch fucked up movies together. We do. It's like our thing. Here's a little preview. I was gonna start shooting reactions, but just solo reactions of my yaya, of my grandmother, my Greek grandmother. Because she says the funniest fucking shit. She has her own vocabulary. She doesn't often get things, which is really funny for a reaction. And the first movie I'm gonna have her react to, and I feel like it's a good like thumbnail for people to click on as well. Is she's gonna watch the Blair Witch Project, and I'm gonna convince her before that it's real, that it's a real found footage tape that they found, that it got really popular, and the people were never found, just so it really freaks her the fuck out. And then by the end, I'll tell her that it's fucking fake. But I think that'd be funny. She does have a reaction up on the channel right now from 2020, um, when I was I can't believe people used to actually watch back then. We used to have reaction videos where I didn't know how to put the screen down at the bottom, so you would just hear the movie or whatever, but you would not be able to see it. Which I guess if you've seen it before, it kind of works, but not. I wouldn't watch that. But Yaya did one to one of her favorite movies, which is Day After Tomorrow, which you could check that out on my channel. It's kind of funny and it's like really rough because it's like the beginning of me doing reactions and you can't see the movie, but she is funny, and it's like the first month of COVID and we were feeling it. It was actually we were still calling it the coronavirus. That's how early it was. So. Okay, y'all. I'm just gonna leave the floor open. The nuclear bomb one. No, that's the day after, which I have always wanted to see that, but I believe that's the television film from the 70s called The Day After. The Day After Tomorrow, which I bet the title is inspired, was with Jake Gyllenhaal. And, you know, to me that's a classic. That's like a disaster movie, a Roland Emmerich masterpiece, darling. I want to give you guys these last couple minutes. If you guys have any last questions, they can be super random. It can be about the channel. It can be requests for the future. It can be what you guys have in your mind, what you've been watching. We can chat about it for a couple minutes. I'll wait a second to see if you have anything on your minds. And if not, I'm gonna go make some dinner. I don't know what I'm having, but we'll figure it out. Figure It Out. Do you guys remember that show? Figure It Out on Nickelodeon with the big brain, the big head, and you'd have to like fill in the puzzle. With you'd have like Nickelodeon stars as the players, and then the kids who would be the contestant, they would always have like a weird fucking like show and tell or talent at the end. Like, look, I can walk on my hands, or look, I can like burp the ABCs, like weird shit like that. It was a good show. It was on Nickelodeon in the 90s. The best time for Nickelodeon, in my opinion. I love watching the team of Charles on the Friday the 13th series. You're like historians of the films. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mr. Hootie Dean. Oh, no, that was Richard. Thank you. And Mr. Hootie Dean, where are the Freddy's Nightmares reactions? Hootie Dean, at the beginning of this live, I did mention that I am returning to Freddy's Nightmares reactions, and I actually filmed and I'm editing season 1, episode 2, which stars Friday the 13th, part 7's Laura Park Lincoln, and then my phone got fucked up this week. So next week you will have the return of Freddy's Nightmares reactions on a semi-regular basis. Thank you so much, Richard. We love having you. We love that you watch. As far as being historians, I love that too, because sometimes I'm like, is it really like pointless for us to kind of do the intro or talk about the making of it like at all? Like, do people already know that shit? But I don't know. It's fun to kind of talk about. We try to bring up who's playing Jason that time, and you know, just some mini facts, but don't get too bogged down because there's so much trivia about these films, you know. Also, just a warning, you won't be seeing another Friday the 13th reaction until probably January of next year. We're going to focus on some other things the rest of the year. Doc Kaiju says, Mr. Houdini, I was just explaining meta sequels to my coworker and asked if she had seen New Nightmare. I actually lived a New Nightmare. Oh, I lived a New Nightmare now. I actually loved a New Nightmare, but I know many people don't. Yeah, some people I feel like it just might not be their thing, you know. So I can see why people sometimes like, especially nowadays when meta is so overdone, kind of nowadays. I can understand why people just kind of want to be in the story of what we're doing, you know. But Freddy's New Nightmare is so gorgeous, and before its time. You know, you can say meta is like overdone, but it was not then. You know, it was kind of really starting to happen, and Wes Craven was right on it. And the only thing that I could really complain about that movie is that the end kind of sucks, and everybody talks about that, how the end doesn't look that it doesn't look that great, and some of the effects look a little cheesy, which I agree. I think they would have been better off. I listened to I think the Halloweenies podcast talking about it, and they were saying how it would have been kind of cool if the ending was actually just like in a Hansel and Gretel old witch's house, kind of, and kind of smaller, instead of like this like Grecian cathedral like crazy universe. But it's still good, you know. And when I was very young when I watched it, and it was a big concept to get around that these people were playing themselves, and I felt like so smart because I got it, and you know, it's what led to Scream, honey. I love New Nightmare. I just think it's wrong for Scream. I mean, especially without Wes being there, that's the biggest thing, is that you know they're gonna have to probably do some tribute to Wes, but I hope we don't get like a Wes Craven hologram. I don't want to go like Ghostbusters Afterlife with what they did, even though it was gorgeous what they did with Harold Ramis, but I don't want them doing that with like Wes Craven or anything. That'd be too much. 3 and New Nightmare are my top two favorites. For a lot of people, Trench, a lot of people love 3. I love 3, but it does kind of get over. Not it's not overrated. It's just, you know, people talk about it a lot. So sometimes I'll go to 4 just because it needs a little bit more love, and it has a lot of elements of 3, and I don't know. Currently 4 is way up there to me, and it's like almost right there with 3. But I know a lot of people sometimes don't like 4 as well. It can kind of get a little bit too MTV with it. I could talk about Freddy all day. The Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is like the top franchise for me as far as like my knowledge, and how many times I've seen each film. And once the Friday the 13th reactions are done, I would love to get to those films, because these are all rewatches. We've seen these, honey. We grew up with these. Let the dead rest in peace. For a real, Doc, I do. 4 is cool, or in pieces. Let the dead rest in pieces. Okay, I see how that works. You know, Reese's Pieces, honey. Reese's Pieces. Extraterrestrial. That made no sense. Oh my goodness. So for the rest of the week, the Halloween season, I'm kind of housebound, unfortunately. You know, I was able to get to a drag show last week where I broke my phone. They were doing Halloweeny stuff. There was a show that was recreating the whole plot of The Substance, the movie, which was amazing. Reese's Penis. I don't like peanut butter though. I like nut. I don't like peanut butter though. I don't like pea, and I like butter. I don't like nut butter. I don't know. Confusing times, you know. They're so confused. Look at them. They don't know. um, oh my god, you guys are so fun. Yeah, so basically, I'm just gonna be here for the rest of the week and working on some stuff so I can get videos out as soon as possible. And I'm probably gonna be continuing my rewatch of Stranger Things. We're not doing reactions to that, don't worry. I think there's plenty out there of those. But that has been really fun getting back into that show before it all comes to an end. Oh, another comment here. Rudy says, my favorites are Freddy's Revenge and Dream Child. No, I didn't say best. That's the key there. It's not the best, but it is your favorite. Um, 2 and 5 have some of the most underrated vibes of the franchise. I mean, two was the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie I ever saw. It was in preparation for, which is so funny because it's so gay and you know what I'm saying. I saw that movie first, and then I saw Freddy vs. Jason, which started this whole obsession. Um, and yeah, two obviously has its issues, but it's such a depthy film. I could do a whole video on two. There's many think pieces on this film, so it almost feels like for naught. But like that film, Freddy definitely has my favorite look. The witchy vibes people always talk about, and how the whole movie feels is just kind of really early. You know that 19. It feels like 1985. That's so dumb because it came out in 1985. Obvious, but it just has that like it's dripping with that era, and you can tell they still didn't know what the franchise was, so it has this different vibe. You know. And then 5 is also fabulous. 5, I love almost everything except I don't love Robert Englund's performance in that one. Ooh! Don't love Robert Englund's performance in part 5. But he was also shooting Freddy's Nightmares at the time. He was probably a little overstretched, you know what I'm saying? And he was constantly just giving shtick at that point. Like he was just constantly getting cameras pointed at him to say something funny in the Freddy voice, and I think he was getting a little tired. But I love Robert. It's still miles above a lot of other horror performances. So, but 5 just has that gothic feel I really love, and I think Alice is a very underrated final girl, and it kind of sucks that we just never have returned to her or have. It doesn't seem like anybody even cries out for a Dream Master return like they do for Nancy, which I get that, but. Have you seen Night of the Demons from the 80s? Why is cinematography in Freddy's Nightmare so bland? Good question. Well, here let's do Freddy's Nightmares question real quick. Why is the cinematography so bland? Well, it was shot on video. That's probably a big reason. Plus, you know, maybe just not being totally creative sometimes or being very limited in what they could do for setups. But yeah, Freddy's Nightmares is very much known for being low budget and was shot on video, which sometimes is charming, but very noticeable and does not help sometimes. Have you ever seen Night of the Demons? No, that is a future reaction guaranteed. Hootie Dean, Mr. Hootie Dean, stay tuned because that will definitely be coming within the next couple months. And I need to meet Angela, honey. She looks like me and her would vibe, you know. We see each other. Awesome. I love that. Well, okay, guys. I am so thankful. I am so thankful that y'all came in tonight and chatted with me. Um, I really didn't expect anybody to. Yeah, Trent, we're probably going to do reactions to all 3 Night of the Demons, honestly. Why not? That's something that is definitely coming forward in 2026. I can see it. Because Cheryl's always on me to watch that. Cheryl loves that movie. When I worked at a call center for a hotel company, a coworker had Robert Englund on the phone once. I was surprised by their late episode. If they keep on making it, whenever I read them, it makes it disappear. When I worked at a call center with Robert Englund on the phone once, I was walking by at the time. The rep started talking his ear off about the kids being afraid of. That is funny. Right, I bet he has such fun with kids and scaring kids. I mean, how can you not? How can you not fangirl over him? All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. Like cannot be grateful enough for the support. Me and Cheryl will be doing more content for y'all this fall, winter. Definitely a couple more before, at least 2 more reactions with Cheryl before the new year, and a few with me. I know my solo ones aren't as fun, and we're a lot more whippy snappy together, but you know, we don't live together. It's hard, and I gotta keep myself busy, right? Anyways, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys right at the start of November for Freddy's Nightmares. And happy Halloween! Go eat some junk, get drunk, watch a horror movie, do the thing. Goodbye time, good night everyone. Bye Kaiju, thanks for watching. Can't wait to watch some more of your Zilla content. Loving it. Bye Trench, bye Richard. Mwah. Bye y'all.